Mental Crown family. Picture this. You've got big plans, maybe a huge work project on the horizon or a relaxing weekend getaway with friends. Then someone let you down. They don't do what they promised. They cancel last minute, or they just act in a way you didn't expect. What happens inside you? Maybe a flash of anger, a dull ache of disappointment, or even a slow burn of resentment that just won't quit. And then there's the other side of the coin, knowing you need to say no or stand firm, but that little voice in your head worries about upsetting someone else. You hesitate, you give in, and then you feel totally drained. Sound familiar? If so, you're in the right place. Today, we're talking about how to deal with disappointment in others without letting it steal your peace, and how to set strong boundaries even when it might make others a little unhappy. This isn't about blaming anyone. It's about protecting your mental crown. Now let's get real for a moment. What does that anger, that disappointment, that resentment actually do to you? It's like a leaky faucet in your mind. Drip, drip, drip. Each drop slowly empties your energy bucket. For the business professionals watching, think about how this shows up at work. You're trying to focus on a big presentation, but your mind keeps replaying that argument with a colleague or a friend who flaked. You're meant to be leading a team, but you're carrying a heavy emotional backpack from someone else's actions. It dulls your sharp thinking, it clouds your judgment, and it takes away from the power you need to truly shine. And for my weekend warriors, imagine you worked hard all week, ready for some well-deserved rest. But instead of feeling refreshed, you're stewing over something a family member said or annoyed that someone didn't pull their weight. Your precious downtime, meant for recharging, becomes just another battleground for your mind. You end up more tired than when you started the weekend. This isn't just a bad mood. This is your inner peace being chipped away. It's your precious mental crown getting tarnished. The worst part? The person who disappointed you probably isn't losing any sleep over it, but you are. You are the one carrying the weight. It holds you back from your goals, from enjoying your life, from truly being present. It's time to stop letting others dictate your emotional state. It's time to take back control. So, how do we stop this cycle? It's not by wishing people would change or by trying to control their actions. That's a losing game. The real power comes from within. It's about changing your response and building a shield around your inner peace. We're going to cover two huge parts of this. First, how to handle disappointment without letting it turn into anger or resentment. And second, how to set clear, strong boundaries that protect your energy, even if it causes a little discomfort for others. Let's dive into dealing with disappointment. When someone let you down, it usually means they didn't meet an expectation you had. Sometimes we don't even realize we have these expectations until they're broken. First step, acknowledge the feeling, but don't camp out there. It's totally okay to feel disappointed. It's a natural human emotion. Say to yourself, I'm feeling disappointed right now because X happened. Notice it. But here's the trick. Don't let it morph into anger or resentment. Anger often comes when we feel wronged or disrespected, and resentment is anger held on for too long. If you catch yourself going down that path, gently pull back. Second step, focus on what you can control. You cannot control what others do. You cannot force them to apologize or to act differently next time. But you can control how you react. You can choose not to let their actions dictate your mood for the rest of the day or week. This is huge. Your peace is your responsibility. Third step, let go of the shoulds. We often think they should have done this or they should know better. But people are complex. They have their own reasons, their own struggles, their own ways of seeing the world. And honestly, Sometimes they just mess up. When you drop the idea of how others should behave, you free yourself from a lot of unnecessary pain. It doesn't mean you approve of their actions, but it means you're not holding on to rigid expectations that only hurt you. Fourth step, detach with kindness. This doesn't mean you stop caring about people. It means you create a small space between their actions and your eternal peace. Their actions are theirs. Your peace is yours. When disappointment hits, take a deep breath. Remind yourself that this is their journey, their choice, and it does not have to become your anger or your problem. A simple thought like, okay, that happened. Now, what do I need to do to move forward and protect my energy? Can be incredibly powerful. A quick journal entry about how you feel, then consciously closing that mental chapter can also help you process and release it. Now, let's talk about setting boundaries. This is where you actively protect your energy and time, even if it might cause a little discomfort to others. Boundaries are essentially rules for your life. They tell people what's okay and what's not okay regarding your time, energy, and space. Why is it so hard to set boundaries? Often because we worry about disappointing others. We want to be liked, to be seen as helpful or easygoing. But constantly saying yes when you mean no is actually saying no to yourself. It leads to burnout, resentment, there it is again, and a feeling of being taken advantage of. Step 1. Know your limits. Before you can set a boundary, you need to know where your line is. What are you truly comfortable with? What are you willing to give your time and energy to? And what are you not? Be clear on this for yourself first. For example, maybe you're willing to help a colleague during work hours, but not on your weekend. Or you're happy to listen to a friend's problems for a bit, but you need to draw the line at constant negative talk that drains you. Step 2. Communicate clearly and calmly. When you need to set a boundary, say it simply and directly. You don't need a long explanation or an apology. Focus on your needs, not on what they did wrong. Instead of "you always ask too much of me," try something like, "I have a lot on my plate right now, so I won't be able to help with that." Or, "I need my evenings free to recharge, so I won't be checking work emails after 6 p.m. No is a complete sentence. You can also say, "That doesn't work for me," or "I'm not available for that." Step 3. Prepare for pushback and embrace it. When you start setting boundaries, especially if you haven't before, people might be surprised. They might even be disappointed or try to push back. This is where you hold firm. Remember, their disappointment is theirs to manage. It's not your job to keep everyone happy at the expense of your own well-being. By saying no to something that doesn't serve you, you're saying yes to yourself, to your goals, to your own mental crown. It's an act of self-respect. Step 4. Be consistent. A boundary that's only sometimes enforced isn't a boundary. It's a suggestion. Once you set a boundary, stick to it. This teaches others how to treat you and reinforces your own self-worth. So there you have it. 2 powerful tools to protect your mental crown: handling disappointment without letting it turn into anger or resentment, and setting clear, firm boundaries. These aren't just feel-good ideas. These are practical skills that will change your life as a business professional and as a weekend warrior. Imagine the mental clarity you'll gain when you're not holding on to anger. Imagine the energy you'll have when you're not constantly giving beyond your limits. Your inner peace is your most valuable asset. It impacts your focus, your relationships, your success, and your overall happiness. It's what allows you to truly shine. So I challenge you this week, pick one area where you typically feel disappointed and try one of the strategies we discussed. Or identify one boundary you need to set and practice communicating it calmly and clearly. Start small, but start somewhere. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but with practice, it becomes second nature. Thank you for tuning into Mental Crown. If this video resonated with you, hit the like button. Subscribe to our channel for more empowering content and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out. And in the comments below, tell us, what's one boundary you're committed to setting this week? Or how do you usually deal with disappointment? Your journey to a stronger mental crown starts now. Protect it fiercely.